Right, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to get a simple wireless serial link going over Xbee. For this we're going to use two Series 1 Xbee radios. Very important that they're Series 1, Series 2 or 2.5 radios will need different instructions. Okay. The Xbee radios have 2mm sockets, so to connect them to an Arduino or a laptop, we'll need some adapters. So in particular, we're going to use the SparkFun Xbee USB dongle and the SparkFun Xbee Explorer regulated. Regulated means there's a 5V to 3.3V regulator on board, which is very important since we'll be working with 5V logic, which if not stepped down to 3.3V would damage the radios, right? And then we'll also use a laptop and an Arduino for the communication. So in preparation, I've built a very simple program. I'll just show you what it does. So if we power up the Arduino board and plug it in via USB, we open a terminal. Then if we send data from the computer to the Arduino, the status LED on pin 13 toggles on and off. Right, then we have a different variation of the same circuit on a shield. And here I've just brought the LED up to this prototyping shield. But the program does exactly the same. Okay, so now let's kill this connection and do the same thing wirelessly. For that, we'll take our two Xbee radios and put them in the adapters. Note that there's some lines on the solder mask to tell you the orientation. And then here on this regulated Xbee Explorer, I've already soldered in some right angle header pins. Okay. This side here is fairly straightforward. We just insert the Xbee into our serial port. It uses the same FTDI chip as the Arduino, so the driver should already be installed. And then let's unplug the power here while we construct the circuit. So I'll plug in the Xbee, and now we have 4 different connections to make. There's power and ground, so we'll hook up 5V power, which is the second pin here, to the 5V supply, and we'll hook up ground, which is the outermost, to an available ground pin. Now the remaining 2 lines are called D-out and D-in. And D-out is where data arrives on the Xbee, and we want to put that to the receive pin, which is 0 on the Arduino. And conversely, the transmit pin from the Arduino, hook that up to D-in. Alright, so pin 0 goes to D out. And pin 1 goes to D in. Alright, double check that we have done this correctly. Then all that remains is to restart our terminal application, since we have a new USB port. Open it at 9600, 8 data bits, no parity, 1 stop bit. Turn off flow control, and now we'll power up our Arduino board. And now we have a wireless connection from the laptop to the board. Alright. And that concludes the tutorial. Note that we cannot plug the USB port in at the same time, so we cannot reprogram this Arduino board while the Xbee is plugged in, and that's because the USB port uses the same pins 0 and 1 as the Xbee does. So to get around that, you would have to write different code that uses a software serial port instead of a hardware serial port. But that's for a different tutorial.